Do you think there's a risk that it thrusts us into some sort of dark age? And what I mean by that is, the other day I was watching was a Liverpool-Arsenal game, right? And after the game, a friend sent me a clip of Mikel Arteta being interviewed. And I mean, he was just like destroying his team and destroying himself, and he was just going at it, and it was AI. But when I tell you it was good, it was like beyond good. And because like English is Mikel's second language, you couldn't pick up on like the smaller nuances that you maybe would pick up with a native speaker. Like if you were speaking Spanish, obviously I wouldn't understand it, but also maybe not wouldn't. I would have gone like, oh, that's not how he speaks, and that's. But the small intonations and inflections were harder to spot, and the light shifting was harder to. But it made us go, damn, we don't know which interviews are real or not real. And then you're like, which article is real or not real? And which little audio clip that you get is real or not real? When someone sends you a voice note, is it them or is it not them? And then I found myself wondering, can all of this lead to a strange kind of dark age where people still see and hear the things, but basically shut themselves off to it because they go, nothing is real and I can't believe anything?
Which is partly the reaction that people are having in social media at the moment, right? I mean, it's like there's so much misinformation flowing around. There's so much default skepticism that people are just unwilling to believe things. And I think that in a way, there's some healthy, look, it's good to be skeptical. Be skeptical of these models that are being developed, be skeptical of the corporate interests of the companies that are doing it, be skeptical of the information that we receive. But it's not good to be default cynical. Skeptical is a healthy philosophical position to ask difficult questions and confront the reality of the answers. This has come back to my split brain attitude. If I'm just too skeptical, I become cynical and I sit on my ass and do nothing. No, you have to take responsibility for the things that you build. So some people out there are going to build shit, and we have to hold them accountable and put pressure on them. But that doesn't mean that we can roll over and cede territory and just say, it's all inevitable. It's going to be this crazy ass shit. It's going to end up being a dark age. It isn't going to be a dark age. I think it's going to be the most productive few decades in the history of human species. And I think it's going to liberate people from work. I think it is going to create, think about it. 200 years ago, the average life expectancy was 35 years old. You and I would be dead. Today, we're in the 70s and 80s. It's unbelievable. And some people go all the way up to the hundreds. And I think that is a massive amount of like quality life that we've added to the existence of humanity as a result of science and technology. But, these things are not, they won't on their own be net good. They'll be net good because we get better as a species at governing ourselves. And so the job is on us collectively as humanity to not run away from the darkness, confront the risk that is very, very real, and still operate from a position of optimism and confidence and hope and connection to humanity and unity and all those things. Like we have to live by that because otherwise, it's just too easy to be cynical.